interested in coming to Ghana to build recycling plant to convert our waste. Waste in Ghana is money. We need to get to that point. Teteno, ni adwin say jantra adwuma ene na di 80 ba. Ense ya behu say eje jantra nkwa na di 80 ba. Ye won kofo a omunya jantra fo enso mo 8. Ye won kofo a ade sa na dwo omu kogina kwan wo say be ma ne omu nkoda enso mo 8. Ye won mema omu nam Ghana o won susumpo so omu pa jantra fo. So it's about time we got to understand say even baller itself is money. We need to start selling our baller, making the people who are interested in converting baller into something meaningful and making something out of it. Understand, say Ghana is ready to sell baller. Let us sell our waste, and then back home we need to put rules down. We need to put measures to deter people from wasting or putting a lot of trash in the system. Oko Singapore, Malaysia, it was a deliberate decision they took. As we are opening our windows and our doors for multilateral companies, multi-million-dollar companies to come and install recycling plants in Ghana, we also have to make sure at home we put together laws that will restrict people from putting waste outside anyhow. Let me tell you, if we go out here and we tell the Germans, we tell the Chinese especially, that you know what, we want to partner with you for the next 10, 15 years. We want you to come and install this recycling plant in the 16 regions. What we want to do with you is for 10 years, build, operate, and do what? Transfer. You there build the plant. Or the only thing you have to pay is your energy, the electricity you will use in running the plant. No, build the plant here, 10 years, operate it, pay your light bill, and then make sure after 10 years, every single person who work at the plant is a Ghanaian from any of our technical institutions who wants to be an engineer or whatever. Make sure 90% of your workers working on this plant are Ghanaian students. 10 years after that, leave this plant for us and leave. We will start building from there. That is what you do. When you give them this deal, they come in, they make money. It's fine. Let them make money at your expense for 10 years. 1, you are killing the trash that is killing your people. 2, you are basically building the young, intelligent Ghanaian to become an engineer, to become a waste management expert, to become somebody who can protect the environment. In the next 10 years, you have so many Ghanaians who have knowledge in waste management. After that, you send them back to your country and say, Ghanaians, take over. That is how you build your nation. You cannot get everything 100%. You can't say that, come and build a plant in my country, pay all the taxes, pay all your electricity, and then at the end of the day, when you get profit, they are not going to come and do it because at the end of the day, they are not making money. So we need to, at the point, sacrifice. We need to feel the pain. And we pay the pain we go through for 10 years. After 10 years, we become a nation that is sustainable to basically to control our own waste. But if we want to make money out of everything, we want to drain people anytime they want to come in and take because whether you like it or not, even America, the Chinese take advantage of them. Do you know that? Europeans, some Americans take advantage of them when it comes to business. That is why sometimes you will see trade wars, America, China, trade war. It is because every single time, everybody wants to make sure that if you take advantage of me a little bit, it's okay. Now let me also take over my own thing. That is why today, the American companies have their factories in China. Do you know what is happening there? They have their factories there because it is cheap labor. Now, if you say it is cheap labor, there are so many Chinese who are being employed in China. So the burden that was going to be on the Chinese government, even though he's making some losses, his people are being employed by the American government that has built a plant in China. So that is what you do. That is how you build a nation. You cannot get everything on your side. You cannot get 100% profit. Sometimes you need to sacrifice. Sometimes we need to look like stupid people. We want our trash to be off our street. We want to create money out of our trash. Through that, we can build our young people. We need young people to learn what is air and waste management. We need to get experts. What do we do? 10 years, let us sacrifice for that. 10 years, come in here, install your plant. You are not going to pay taxes for 10 years. You are going to pay your light bill. Whatever energy you use at the plant, you pay us. We are going to give you 90% of your workforce. They are all going to be Ghanaians. Now, what they are going to do is teach them their job. We are going to make you sign an agreement with the polytechnics, technical institutions, universities. We are going to make sure these students come there to do their internship. We are going to make sure if you are going to hire permanent Ghanaians, they are supposed to be Ghanaians who have a little bit of knowledge about engineering or waste management. You use them to support the student. So for 10 years, you have hundreds and hundreds of people who would know this job. That is what you do. So when we go out there to have discussions, the Chinese are not stupid. The Germans are not stupid. The Americans are not stupid. Everybody wants to make money. At a point, be the Jimmy and let them chop you small. When it's here, kwasi any tia na gregu. Kwasi any tia at a point, agregu. We are done. Thank you very much. It was for 10 years. Can you hand over this to us? We take it from there. That time, Accra no 12 years. In 10 years, no 22 years. He can run that industry. He can be part of that industry. So almost setting up, Accra no 20 years, no 30 years. He's ripe to do that job. So that is what you do. We see things too long. We are not interested in long-term plan. We only want short-term. Oh, somebody should come and set up a recycling plant. Or pay us every money. They are not going to do it. Even me, I'm not going to do it because I'm not stupid. I'm not going to pump all this money into Ghana, and at the end of the day, you tell me I'm paying everything. No, because you are going to take advantage of all the things that I'm doing for you. So let us be stupid. Let us be strategically stupid on some things. There are some things you become strategically stupid. Oh, let them do it. 10 years, we take over. It is ours. We still have to maintain that. We have to make sure we protect our environment. That's what we do. But so everybody who's a 10 years what? They be see where they are to 10 years. We are not going to get anything done. Let me tell you, nobody can stop trash waste in Ghana. No government. Because our system has been built in a way whereby it entices us to be dirty. That is it. So if we cannot genuinely turn it around ourselves, we need to collaborate. We need to be strategic. Let us turn that into money. Let us understand. Sometimes, as a nation, be stupid. At a point, they were stupid. They give themselves time. At that point, they become wise. Now we take over. Our children take over. Let us be smart a little bit. Let us go give them some good deals. And 2 years. No government in the history of Ghana can stop the trash happening in Ghana. No. In Quran, they see their fathers throw trash around. They see their mothers throw trash around. When you're walking on the street, that is what we grow up with. No president can come and say, I am begging you, let us all change. This is attitudinal. It is in us. We grow because our environment allows that. So how do we stop it? How do we fight it? We need to strategically fight it in a different way. And that is what we need to do now. Let's think far a little bit. Chinese machines go, they don't know what to do with them. Give them a good deal. Give them a good deal. They will bring the machines, they will install. Oh, they can say 10 years only. It's okay. Let them do what they want to do for 10 years. After 10 years, in the almost waste management. Can be their own entrepreneurs. Government, after 10 years, can resource young Ghanaians to set up their own community waste plant machines. This is simple. Give yourself 10 years. Let them take the taxes. It's fine. Let them pay their light bill so that we can use that to sustain the energy. Let them pay only the light bill. It's okay. The taxes, let them bring the equipment. Don't take a dime from them. Let them bring it free. Let them install. Let them do it. 10 years, you are good. 10 years now, 10 years now, we talk too much. And away a PhD, and away a master's. And so you're answer, you're Jimmy to say, nine. So, Secretary Takrade Mayor, I really applaud him for that. I don't know him, but I read a story. I think it's the mayor who is trying to do this. And whoever the mayor is, you can reach out to me any day. Whatever support you guys need through my platform, I will do it for you guys. You are being smart. If all mayors try to sign this kind of partnership, then Ghana, Sebio, in the next 5-10 years, you better reduce the amount of waste that is basically making our country flood. So that Secondary Takrade Mayor, I really applaud him for this landmark partnership. Whatever support he needs, whatever media support, I will give him. If he wants us to speak on this thing every single day, I will do it because I believe these are some of the things we need to support, we need to promote, we need to protect. Now, the health ministry, I can't say we are still live on Loud Silent TV team. Thank you very much. Now, stay alert. Ebola has no cure or vaccine yet. Akando to Ghanaians. The health minister Akasa and Ebola and the America say America Ebola epiha. The almighty United States of America Ebola baha. the health minister of Ghana or catch Ghana Nibia or Shemi Anadwi say Ebola yare na ese Africa ha and the atiesia in Krobe Bridi Penye Bino ye ni anu eduru ye ni pania ebetuma wo ema Ebola no akọ nti ye catch Ghana for or say as the health minister or catch Ghana for say yenhwe ye hu yie ye kọ nipa dodo mu a ye make sure say yakọ chiachia we yi ase no ye be hohoro ye nsa. Very important. Yakwe yebi ase ani echia asebesi me hu wache be ma ba no ena time echia hunu. You need to understand say a contact na this IRA weba inti Ebola no health ministry no Mr. Akando honorable or the ato abonten or say or sre Ghana for Ebola ni Ghana. We are prepared if Ebola happens by some way or means. Nipa ba ko bitimi ura Ghana na ebi o Ebola na say Ebola ba. They have prepared a place, sir. The government is ready to protect you. But Abani is ready to have a place that will admit Ebola patients. Nyamin Pengu, say Bisia. What is going to happen? And they say, or say for now, no, yare ni yeni anu edru. We are gardening, especially more mutu tu kwa ikofa nyoma other African countries, no. Sebi omukwa. It is very important to say oba show huye oba hohoro nsa ansa na wedidi enye obia na ofem fam no. Also making sure say oba drufia you wash your hands before you eat onkwara ni pia bontina mo hohoro mo nsa for semina yo na tie ikufo so di biba yo hohoro nsa get me hohoro nsa Mr. P. Inti the government is telling Ghana for we are ready to fight Ebola, but advisor, health minister, opinion or share apomudin so Ghana or say, Ebola, ye ni anu edru, se si ayeke se anu edru ni ho. Ebola yeke se ye ni pani ebetum dia wo te say COVID ba no. Yarea ehuye. Na de ma Ebola eba de say sebio free emmoa bi ho eneba. Enti de obetumi so aye a preventing ebi ni say oba hohoro nsa daily. Ansana o didi anase o de aduana ma oba ana wankasa wa ye hu bibi. Enti make sure say wonsa hohoro no very important. Upie na uko event bi na uko cheche nipa udufia di nka hohoro wonsa fa sanitizer bi so bottom uchia ko amankwa je sia na uko dwonso wan hohoro ne nsa na uchia kwa me frifa ono so ko ne ya hohoro ne nsa uchia abrama nsa enti je se uchia nkofo make sure say wa design nkofo wa hohoro nsa ansa na wadidi. Sometimes you mention some things and you laugh because it just comes out of your mouth. So you need to understand. You need to understand Ebola. Sebio yeni anu edru. Intimu cheche nipa ukroma. Now I day wa uronsa. Inti health minister no ena eka say mema Ghana fo nyina entiasie say sebio uwa Ghana. All right, thank you, team. So honestly, team no the more me come enim no. Then they will tell me, say, boss, there's something that you are forgetting. They want me to explain to Ghana for trash once a year baller once and they said I should show you a video of how Singapore basically fight the waste and I said baller was Singapore and my team they are telling me say I should play this video for every single Ghanaian to watch. Now the education how Singapore yenimuno sibia omo fight the baller was Singapore. So Mr. P, Mr. S said member video we na nyina nhwe when it comes to waste management and what we can do to prevent a lot of waste in Ghana.
In Singapore, there is no trash.
Debia any ako legon, any ako tech, any o PhD, any ako engineering, and you want the papa be the Ghana for. 1 minute, you too much send Singapore for or mutumi and making sure some waste no, they've made something better out of it. They be a school we are seeing nasi. You tumi ye bibia protect your crew. Yaji all the degrees, all the accolades. Yaji bibia. And over social media. Now you see where we're doing and where we're doing and you do we at them. Yeah, let me tell you people. Now I'm the same way. Because somewhere to bring another controversy, I don't want to do it. But you see, Yakosku could do point to be a yeah, Mummy and you see I drink a cranny Jimmy, yada one nit name, ya Junso Emma enquire, yada home at Ghana, your new senior, Sebio, your giant I cry, you bet me a cleaning up. Ama a janai and a yada hot Ghana upon school, I call Abesin ne, ye Niminyan said bet me protect the environment. Ye Niminyansa, and it's enough. I'm beginning to see, say, African, especially Ghanaian, Omudu baby, they use school as an excuse not to be responsible in life. That is what I see. I'm beginning to see, say, Ghana for especially. Omudra brabono point to be na omu hu di omo nye. Na bibia biti omo. Na fe omu hu senia omo angasa and to be creative to build a life. To start from nowhere and to think deep and create something that will feed them. All that they do is Miko school. And it is something that if you take your time to analyze, most Ghanaians spend about 40% of your life going to school. And that is what you are beginning to see. Say, and my result to be because most people are more Ghana, whether in Ghana or out of Ghana, Muko school, no, when you ask them at the Kudienta Uko school, so Miko school, you see, so you could see, say, the laziness is there. Now, because so many of us, we don't want to sit and think and create something out of nothing and become responsible to build our life. You know, what you see is a lot of people hide behind education. In to be sure, we know 58, I'm still schooling. Oh, to be sure, when 48, I'm still schooling. Oh, 38 years, you was school. We are still bettering ourselves. So you could see, say, so many of them they hide. They are scared of the world. They are scared to go out there and create something out of nothing. In this way, steady power, especially Ghanaians, most of them are going to school. The question you ask is, school now more kon we are not bad day or some we are near ejuma bang. You get it? Until you can see, say, we have lot and lot of anything. Most Ghanaians, some mobile brochure. So what's study? 90% of Ghana for mobile brochure because they cannot adapt to the system, because they don't really understand how they can make life, how they can think through and create an opportunity for themselves and become self-sufficient or entrepreneurs who are still basically failing the education. All that they will tell you, say, for 7-8 years, the person will tell you, I'm going to school. Now, what happens is, say, almost Osha school, 45 years. Onya Jumanya, na the energy to work, ultimately, more than 10-15 years. Until you can see, say, Oria school, no about Korewi. Into Oria school, now it takes you some time to be able to get a job, to make sure the school now and so in this West study, most of them are more Ghana, very irresponsible. They cannot think and make a day nothing out of a abrabo. And they say, Bronya Kwara, Abrafo Kwara, Omuko school. By college, no, Nimbi Oboha or college, no, Ejuma or a coffee shop, or plan. The life in United is not about, I want to go to school, go to university, do master. They don't do that here. Even though they know, they acknowledge the school here, they make sure, say, they set their life up in a way school will not take 90% of Oma Brabo. But you see with us, because we don't know what to do, because most of us, from infancy, a static school, we could not basically pinpoint exactly what we want to use our life for. The easy thing we do, they say, Usha will be whether home or abroad, Miko school. Into Ubusha was okay, what the 38 years? What the 42 years? What the 43 years? Uko school. At this point, what are you going to school for? Because years are school 3-4 years. Now you're almost 50 years. Now years are 47 years. How many years do you have to work to be able to build up a retirement fund? You can't. Means you have wasted about 60% of your life pretending you are learning, but you are learning nothing. Because you see, those people who make life in America, so I'm going college. No, free college now. So I'm to Caribbean. What they do is a brofo pano say opese. Oye Juma or Statia Juma or your college no Statia Juma. Now, time or year Juma or your experience in Yana or Betano. But with us, it's not like that. One, we know, say, we cannot get that job. So the only thing we can do is say, because we cannot think and create opportunities for ourselves, we end up going to school. In Tubeshominano, I am going to school. Obeshominano, oh, I am in school. Oh, also the demand with the 45 or the demand with the 50. And I'm still going. And I coffee bentomo. And in Kwasafon and I'm Ghana. Yeah. It is our bigger institutions in America. The people who run the U.S. government, they when you pay about 28 years. You know what? The young tech boys, they start right after college. They try to get a job, fill that omope. Now, or what side job already 21 years, then the same time he is working, he is basically having an associate. He is basically learning something that at the end of the day, it can help him go up. Even though he's working, he's making money, he's saving, you can see, say, he's still getting the experience. But with us, it is not like that. You have go school in your PhD. You have yeah. Today, as I speak to you, a company like I don't want to say, because better than another conversation on social media. It will be, because my own conversation be a koso. My own conversation be a koso on social media. I don't even want to get into it because, it's okay. But we need to understand that is the hard truth. Let's be real here. And that has been us. We saw people who were going to school. They are scared of the world. They cannot create anything. And it's not so many people today. So our tertiary institutions are 90% of the kids there. The easiest part is that I want to go and do politics. Because with politics, you don't need somebody who is exceptionally intelligent, who can basically solve problems with their head. You just have to maneuver, be able to convince and lie and become a politician. And it is what tertiary institutions now. Almost 90% of the people there, and they Lagos, Tech, all the private universities, everybody wants to end up. That is why you see a lot of young people joining their political their groups. Miwaha. Because the idea is that because I cannot create any opportunities for myself by thinking, I need to join a political group. When I'm part of the group way, a party way, meaning party power, now I'm a politician. Then you see, it's a trend. Our people are not able to think. Our biggest problem as Ghanaians is not thinking. Ultimu will be Ghana or say, Ghana chance still no chance. You know why? Because here we solve problems. Here we create opportunities. Here you need to think. Into most of them will come. That's the same thing they do, because in this country, you don't have to rely on the federal government to give you a job. You don't have to rely on the system. You have to create it. And how do you create it? It is about the practical knowledge you have. And then they create opportunity now. It's when you come to America, you don't expect to say, school now to Ghana, it's going to make you a manager direct. No. Meaning, school or Ghana, medical students are almost chips, Ghana, America shops. That is how it is. So we need to be real. We are faking. We are lying to ourselves. We are using school to cover up our irresponsibility and our laziness. It is always studying Quran and those who are also in their 40s, they can't do anything again. The only thing you have to do is that is what we are doing. And if you take your time to analyze, that is how our youth, they are becoming lazy. Yes, they are becoming lazy to think. They cannot even put ideas on paper and explain to an investor to convince them. A few can do it. And internet today, you see a lot of youth saying, I can't job. Because the issue here is you go to nursing training. You go to teacher training. Basically, you went to learn skill, right? As a nurse, you went to learn skill. The issue is, even though you learn general nurse, there is some things in the things you learned, you can, in your own community, convert it into work, which you will become an entrepreneur, but on yet. You see, when you go to nursing school, you learn a lot of things. That is why we call you general nursing. You learn how to put bandage on. You learn how to give first aid. There are so many things you learn in nursing school. Now, when you come out of nursing school, you need to sit back, call 1, 2, 3, 4 of your friends and tell them, guys, the things we learned in school, we live in a community where we have 40,000 people. How can we use that to make money? How can we use that to help community to also be employed ourselves? You sit with your group. Let us put ourselves together, 4, 5, 6 people. This is what we can do. Let's tackle this one. I think this is what we... So, 3 years, 2 years, you are already an entrepreneur who you've been able to create work out of what you want to learn. But this is a situation where you get 5 teachers coming from training college. They are teachers who have learned different skills. They can come together as a group and look in their own community, in their own municipality, in their own community and say, okay, we are called school, no, this is all that we learned. You were good at this, you were good at this, you were good at okay, let's build something. Let us start from scratch. Let us see if this, slowly, you become self-entrepreneurs. You become self-sufficient people. Abano to me from at a point, Abano will try to come to you and partner with you. And that is what the Americans do. So you come here, you see a lot of startups. You see a lot of young people. Most of the young people who have made money here build their own local companies. They not take money to say, Yako school. Most people in America have gone to school. Most people are educated. But the issue is, most people have been able to create something out of what they learned in school. Until you see young CEOs, you see young neighborhood companies, because they know. But in Ghana, everybody finishes school and it's all about, say, I'm from Ejumada, I am going to school. So you see people going to school every single day. And it's like Jimino, you have to be 2 years in Ghana, and you have to do Chroma. Or better Chroma 15 years, they be out of school. Oh, me was school. Oh, me was school was 40. Me was school was 50. Now I'm one day not be you be ni brony so before you or check your age. No, I share how you can be used. Because if you are 48 years, no of Juma, not a 27-year-old boy, Abba, or better 22-year-old, you know, because he has enough energy, he can work for long, he can use him and get a lot from me. When the 42, your responsibilities are too much. You are going to start suffering. You are going to start having problems with family. You are going to start complaining about holidays because your wife is not there. You have to take care of it. So that saying, Bronin does not have time. So he's going to pick the young man who is not attached to any kid, who is not attached to any responsibility that will drag him from not coming to work. He's going to employ that young 22-year-old man. So, boy, so that is what they do here. In the Uber do America, where the 32, work on school at 7 years, where the 42, the market does not need you. So, your responsibility, you know, say we are irresponsible and lazy. We hide behind Miko School. Ask all of them, Amako School, Tech, Legon, in Ghana, what have they been able to create? Nothing. In Ghana, schools are not sustaining Kumasi Technical Institute, KTI. Those schools living in bringing out people who could have been entrepreneurs. But at a point, we created the impression, say, Obiko Kwabuche, Obiko Presek, Obiko Achimota, Obiko Wesley Gasa, they are more better. So we were just learning grammar. We were not able to use our knowledge practically to build something. But people were at KTI who were building coal-pots, who were building their mast, who were able to work for mining companies. But the community neglected such schools because you cut to your trim say, Omomoko technical schools, you know, they are not smart. But here it is technical people who are making the money. 90% of young people from Africa, we are trained, white-collar job students. We come here, we can do anything. By the time we are able to fit into the system, to be able to make some good money, then we are old. We are already done. We are exhausted. Then the young college students are the ones who are being paid well. Go to every company in America. I've worked at Delta. I've worked at a container store. I've worked at D and DeLuca. I've worked at companies. And I know how young people are paid compared to older people because they want the young people to stay in the company than the old people because the old people have been exhausted. Yeah, that is what we need to understand. We as Ghanaians here, Jimmy, we are timid. We don't want to think. And that is our biggest problem. That is our biggest problem in Ghana. And it has become something fashionable. Oh, you are in school? Oh, I'm in school. Oh, so where you go finish? Oh, I do another course. Oh, so by you, I think I say you finish. Oh no, it be here. I go do for 6 months. Right now, they can't continue. Laziness. And sometimes I sit back and I watch some Ghanaians. Not because you are scared. You are scared to confront the reality. Start to build. Think. We can't think. Entrepreneurship is the way out. You can't. You can't tell me who goes school about be a billionaire. You can't be a billionaire. You can't. You can't get $1 million upon all the schools are owned to me. But a young man who became intelligent to create something out of the little school he went, who is now an entrepreneur, can get $1 million in a year. Now that I'm going to school. School is good. It's fine. It opens your horizon. You get to know things. But that does not pay bills. So go school now, we are strategic about it. And then I bet me live comfortably. The idea of going to school is to be strategic. They just don't go to school. So who's a bronica say me go school then one man who 3 years says course we year akoja position way that is broading. A few white people, few Americans go to university because they see say that year's not spend university it needs to be worth it. I'm not going to university because I have to go to university to prove myself to my father's friend, to prove myself to somebody. I have to go to university because in the next 3 years, I will be 27. There I can be a medical doctor. So we'll measure the years, we'll measure how long he's going to spend in that school and how long he's going to make money to pay his student loan. But Yamubini Jimmy, everybody is studying law in Ghana. Lawyer. Jimmy Nibia, what is in law? There are people who have been lawyers for 20 years. You know what? Because you are not a good lawyer. You are not intelligent to defend anybody. You want to just be known, semi-co school, me a lawyer. Send your Jimmy will see you and think you are smart, but you are in pain, but you can't pay your bills, but you look wretched than that young man who is doing koleba because we are stupid. Yeah, Jimmy. So you will see people on social media debating. Yes, where you want, you see where or co school ha. Where you want, you see parents go to parties. No more your mumba where your school how maybe where your school at the end of the day, parents, you know, or to pump China bills. Them bano, they have a lot of things to accomplish because the school that they know when they calculate their years, if they are not strategic, or maybe some papa, that is what we are known for. There are so many stupid lawyers in Ghana, so many of them. They can't even defend a chicken. In the name, say, Miko Law School. In the name, say, Miko Medical School. In the name, say, Miko. No, those things, they don't matter. They don't. You need to be strategic. School is good. It's very good. You need to go to school so that you can express yourself well. If you don't go to school, you can't express yourself. When you meet people, you cannot even understand documents to read. What you need is basic understanding of things. Read it, understand it, communicate. That is the first step of school. If you are able to do that, when $3 million is written in words and in figures, you should be able to differentiate. Wherever they put the dot, you should know where your money is going. After that, you better yourself. That is what you call schooling. Bettering yourself as an individual to face the life before you. But you don't just better yourself to try and avoid the responsibility before you. And that is the choice we are making now. We are trying to better ourselves by not confronting the responsibility before us. And that is what the real African, the real Ghanaian is going through. You are still live on Loud Silence TV. I'll be back after this short break.
Let the prophets prophesy and let the worshippers worship. Prophet Nana Ajimai Ministries presents Open Heavens 2026. Theme, I am not here by accident. Hebrews 10 verse 7. Psalm 40 verse 7. Host, Prophet Nana Ajimai Osu. Guest speaker, Apostle Francis Amwakwata. Special guest of honor, Dr. Hannah Lucia Bisu Kwote. Dates, Saturday 27 June 2026. Time, 9 a.m. Venue, GTEC Auditorium next to Chartered Institute of Bankers, Baoleshi. Guest ministers, Pastor Kufai, Minister Lydia Apao, and Minister Kwekute. For further inquiries, kindly contact 0248-923-870. Come and encounter Jesus, for there's a word from the prophets. See you there. Let the prophets prophesy and let the worshippers worship. Prophet Nana Ajimai Ministries presents Open Heavens 2026. Theme, I am not here by accident. Hebrews 10 verse 7. Psalm 40 verse 7. Host, Prophet Nana Ajimai Osu. Guest speaker, Apostle Francis Amwakwata. Special guest of honor, Dr. Hannah Lucia Bisu Kwote. Dates, Saturday 27 June 2026. Time, 9 a.m. Venue, GTEC Auditorium next to Chartered Institute of Bankers, Baoleshi. Guest ministers, Pastor Kufai, Minister Lydia Apao, and Minister Kwekute. For further inquiries, kindly contact 0248-923-870. Come and encounter Jesus, for there's a word from the prophets. See you there.
Thank you very much for staying. You're still live on Loud Silence TV. My name is KEVN Taylor. Meantime, but ad on TV, so but those are bought ad and now actually say I really want to support a year ad, and you all know the ad you just watched. Everybody should understand this is a big event, and you have to make a date. I will be there myself. The first time I go for Behumu, sorry them, and because sorry pa, but man for him, and I mean me tons ba. Na so when hwe pito ngum so a enko shindere abe betons ba na when hwe pito ngum so ntide bia me kwa sorry a o se di pito kosi kwan no ho se ne be ya e be hye me mu na se me dwudwom a e pito o de kakra guma pempe no de kakra ma me anom saa ko pe se be tibeni so wa ma me pito and de metons ne ba metuma ka bibia wa sorry dem wo and me so metons ne ba na se Holy Spirit nisim so a de wa ye bia meka me mfa me ho ne wo ye sofo panyina na wo ye sofo meka ni nyina intide bia no pito de udi guma pempe na odi bi ma me no me guma pempe na me no and de odi kakra guma pempe na kakra no saa be 2 hours ai na pito na the milk kakra so gum ai pito ne milk de kakra gu no num ai intide kakra bi gu me ai me hwe kase guma pempe e se be se mata de no intide kakra bi so ma pempe we wetim de won saba ko na pito na nkata no odi ama me na ma no ai de odi be guma pempe me fa milk ngu anum because we be se milk no inti saa ne ye ne kakra all right, now this is a story. Me person e kan wasem. My brother me aminim. Mamonka. Say me minim. Me enya dem mo bia because Kevin Wawoda. Me my brother am dada. It dey me be also tiase. Now, this is the Jandama Joy News. They try to put in the system. I will say, you try na you making sure that the system is clean. Jimmy for Ghana pa. And you see, let me tell you something. Ghana now, your uncle they are easily convinced. And it's not every day we do what we do. Say a jai one thing I've studied. Say me jai show be 1 week pe na omo gym na yomuti. Na Jimmy Taba na started. Into this job, it should be it is consistent. I can't stop it. Because you see, manus is so. Your Ghana for me Jimmy, if you don't continuously educate them, the little gap you give to liars, they will destroy their minds. And it's every single day you see us on TV. Not because we think it is because we want to consistently stay on Ghanaians and remind them and educate and inform. Stay on them, remind, educate, inform. That is our policy. Because your Ghana for Bebrea, Sebio, Omama school, Jimmy Moore, school, and that is a reality in Ghana. So what's the idea? Omama school, do Ghana no, do Jimmy school crowd. If you leave that gap, so we just start to crowd for a day, for a week. Every time you go on break for like 1 week, I feel to be a Jimmy in the bus system. I'm for bomb tabamu. You can see the Jimmyization is there. It's echoing every single place. And each and every day we are here to keep the people in line, to delete every night and upload. Into during the day, no, omucha trona na mabana be delete na ma upload papa no because ye mu bi ni ye Jimmy do no makɔ school no ye nim nyansa. We are lazy to research. We are lazy to question people. The most timid people on this planet are Ghanaians who have been to school. School, you cannot intimidate them, but school, or because at the end of the day, they can't even speak for themselves. They can't question. They can't ask. They can't research. Whatever you tell them is cool. So we need to always be here to delete Atrono, to upload Nokreno every night. And it's right now, no, people are struggling to pass MPP Atrono on the people because we are here to delete and upload. Into Debiano, Yawaha, Yanko Babia. Consistency has been our hallmark. Now, multimedia, cocaine media. I'm Wakwata cry a lawyer, a GB2. Now, Bank of Ghana considering sale of new 260 million headquarters. Yatia Endra na yenina yendidi be on the 1st of June. Ena cocaine media, Joy News, Eddie story bibeto was say, Bank of Ghana for say, Omo ba beton the Bank of Ghana headquarters. And Obia say, where should they free him? Now, Joy News, this story in the bio, no, Omo say source no Joy News online. Omanka say, asimesi and acquire investigations and obedient story in the brain. When the media house wants to lie, especially print, when they want to cook story, when they want to do propaganda, negative propaganda, because there's positive propaganda. When they want to do politics and malign people in power, that's what they do. They cook stories up. What they do is they look at stories, right? And then they try to force holes in stories, which are not the holes that basically can actually make any sense. What they do is they force sense when there's no sense. They force story when there's no story. And that is what most media houses in Ghana do. Because right now, no, Ghana for who say most of the media houses are liars. Most of the people who work at the media houses, most of them work for politicians. Most of the media houses in Ghana, about 90% of them, they are owned by politicians. In Ghana, now, the kind of impact some media houses in Ghana, right now, they are losing that impact because Ghanaians are now able to see through them or look at what they are doing realistically and tell them, you are lying to us. A few years ago, when Joy News or multimedia put a story out, people did not question it. But for some time, people are doing things basically your interest they are at Joy News not because they want to be legitimate journalists. They want to speak the truth. They are at multimedia or Joy News because they want to be paid, make money, be friends with politicians, and then get better their jobs. So most people in our media circle now are not doing the job because of the love and making sure truth is put out there. It is for them to actually live good like the politicians they are supposed to check. It is for them to make money like the politician they are supposed to check. It is for them to get opportunities better so that they can leave the media space. So when there's no news, multimedia, Joy News, a media house like that, they sit and create because that is the only way that they will get the traction so that some people will give them money to run the media house. You see, so the impact, the influence these media houses have 10 years ago, they don't. Because we have seen that multimedia or Joy News, it has been a transit point where if somebody wants to be a criminal politician, that is where they bounce off. And we have seen lots and lots of them. If you want to be a criminal politician, bounce off. A transit point, I'll bet you see Joy News, multimedia. So you see, most of the young journalists are and the politics positions. You know what Joy News does, multimedia does is say they pick criminals, clean them up, and create an impression that they are angels. But these same criminals use that platform to enter into politics to dupe you. So multimedia has become a devil's junction. That is why you get somebody like Ojo Ponkruma, who was a morning show host, who was basically asking all the questions and people saying he loved Ghana. He is a patriot. He was working for you. The next day, he's with the MPP, telling you that the money, the 60 billion, it is nothing. That is politics. That is some journalists for you. And I can give you so many names. Multimedia has become the devil's junction whereby people who want to do diabolism or diabolic, they just want to put something out to destroy people. Multimedia is a junction, a devil junction where people like A. Sankuma were cultivated. A. Sankuma was basically groomed at multimedia. Their news file, that is where we got people like Kukuba Akodems come out to lie to Ghana. So it has become a devil's transit point. If you want to be a liar, if you want to be a thief, if you want to lie to the people, use multimedia as your transit point. It is the devil's junction. Now, this is what they are doing now because they are struggling. Yatiano Meka just say, oh, Bank of Ghana 4% town Bank of Ghana headquarters. No. And yes, why in the quiet investigations? No? Why in the cover story the buy? Ninjina Swan is saying, the Omeka chair and say, Omon Asuna. This cannot be journalism. A simple or a young TikTok blogger is more important now, relevant than multimedia. Because now, multimedia, this kind of Yakeka Media House, Yakeka Joy News. Now, basically, when we ask them, how did you get to the conclusion, say, Bank of Ghana, Pesomotomo headquarters, so Yakeka. And this is the so-called CLS DNDN Media House. We are asking you, the difference between you and a TikToker. Maybe the difference between you and Kevin Taylor or anybody else is say you pride yourself, say you people have concrete evidence, reliable sources, and then fact-based journalism. So an issue like a whole Bank of Ghana, that is a national asset. If you are going to tell Ghanaians say it is going to be sold by Bank of Ghana, you need to give us more than telling us your sources. Yeah, kika. Then it means that only TikTokers, no, Joy News or Joy News Online and TikTokers, they are not different. Because you cannot even tell us where your facts are from. Now, when you read a story, this is what they said. The multi-purpose complex known as the Bank Square replaced Bank of Ghana's 69-year-old previous headquarters. It was built under the erstwhile Akufo-Addo's government at a cost of over $260 million as a befitting legacy for the central bank after more than 6 decades of service. Now, however, the current management, backed by the government, you see where the story started. Now, what they are trying to do is they are trying to create an impression in the minds of people. Say, Akufo-Addo did the CKBC Bank of Ghana headquarters. Now, Akufo-Addo aban no ene de omusika siye. Na aban we na abano. So we hear the second paragraph. However, the current management, backed by the government. So you see what they are doing? They are doing jandam. They are doing politics. That is why they could not tell you, say, Asimesi went out to do the investigations. So if you have any question this our reporter. That is why they said sources tell them. Because what they were doing is they were trying to join the government. They were trying to then bring in the government to destroy the name of the government. All that they were trying to do here was that they wanted to disgrace the government. That is Joy News. Into here, second paragraph. However, the current management, backed by the government, is now pursuing and in quote, a sale and lease back arrangement according to the sources. So right now, Joy News catcher say, Bank of Ghana Dana Akufo-Addo didn't seek a see, Akufo-Addo aban see, almost say, and the John Mahama abano back the management of the Bank of Ghana, meaning they are saying, say, Abano supported the governor of Bank of Ghana. This story they wrote, the intention is to destroy people, their credibility. John Mahama abane pese or ton Akufo-Addo. ne dan na we sin ko for kwasi ampe wo sika obesi dan papa ko na wotin papa fie. You get it? So you need to understand say they are lying. They were just trying to put something in the system. Now, so I'll read this story. Serious discussion have reportedly taken place with Bank of Ghana leadership said to be strong advocates for disposing of the prestigious national asset. I'm saying, Koma Koso, Ama, Bank of Ghana and Pedifona, your margin say, Omobeton dino. Yes, why in a quiet story, no? Fact, Ben Kutano, almost say yetete, yakeka. So, a media house like this, which was built with cocaine money, and put out a story like this without any concrete reporter, evidence. Anybody can write this story. I can basically get up one day and write a story, say, the owner, with all due respect, these are not facts, the owner of multimedia, Kwesi Dien, today his colleagues from the US are chasing him around, trying to take over multimedia because Kwesi Chum owes them a bag of cocaine. When I put story like this out and tell people, our sources tell us, how is Kwesi Chum going to take the story? How is Kwesi Chum going to take the story? Say me sorry anopa, na me beka say, eye Kwesi Chum, omo a oni omo ye cocaine, a omo di sisa sika no ebesi multimedia, Joy News no, ende omo from America ba, sibia Canada Japan kan no, omo tata Kwesi Chum say omo beje multimedia nafa. Na asem ye ninjina so na me di jina so kan say, metete. Are you going to take me serious? Are you actually going to take me serious as a journalist sitting here explaining things to you? So these are all speculative. Now, where did they pick the story from? Because they wanted to destroy this government. Now, multimedia has become Yatete Media, Yakeka Media. Yakeka Multimedia, no? Now, they went all the way back 2025. Now, at the end of 2025, it's almost as some way, no? And omubuso say into omo sources when so your video be the betremo a video be so Atoforsen can send me 2025 already budget review no. Let's go listen to Atoforsen what he said.
And then you're talking about the Cocoa Road, exactly what you're talking about. That's 5.7 billion.
This one is road fund.
Road fund. The road fund, yes. Road fund. Yes.
Road fund also owe contractors approximately 6 billion Ghana cedis.
And this is the thing that surprised me. BOG is asking for a bailout.
Yes.
53 billion
cedis.
For what? You say to deal with the negative equity.
Yes.
And this is on the back of the report that showed that there's 60 billion hole.
You remember in my previous life as the minority leader, I kept saying that Bank of Ghana had generated so much debt, so much, deficit. As a result, their balance sheet is not healthy, and that they have generated negative equity. Apparently, the previous administration in the Bank of Ghana had signed an MOU for the government of Ghana or the taxpayer to recapitalize the central bank with 53 billion Ghana cedis.
Do you have the money?
I've asked the Bank of Ghana to look within and cut expenditure because the taxpayer cannot afford 53 billion. And I've communicated that to the government.
But they already have an agreement with government.
But they can look within. They can look within. First of all, they have to look within. You know, you've seen their new head office, very big building. They have a choice to sell and lease back if they want to. They have to look within and cut expenditure and reduce. Evans, the taxpayer cannot afford 53 billion Ghana cedis. Giving 53 billion Ghana cedis to the central bank will simply mean that we will have to deny the taxpayer some public good, like roads, like schools, like hospitals. Is that what we want? Can we afford it at this stage? The question is no. The answer is no. We cannot be able to afford that. And so the central bank must look within. They have hotels like Guest House and others. Why are they in Guest House? Can they sell some of them and use the money to recapitalize? The taxpayer cannot be used as a punching bag. So I've said to them they should look within. Luckily for me, the governor is on board. And I expect the governor to look within and cut expenditure to reflect the needs of the bank.
If they come to you with, their share of the bargain, would you meet them halfway? Or you want them to
the central bank
find all 53 billion?
If the central bank is able to come to me with a reasonable offer, we can have a conversation.
Okay.
But it must start from them. And I have also said that they may also have to consider plowing back their profit over the next 10 years to recapitalize it. That can also be done. It depends.
But what is the implication if they don't do this quickly? Can they survive?
It is not a problem. The bank can survive. See, first of all, what they need to do is to, as soon as possible, generate enough cash to be able to run the affairs of the
Inti, I had almost say, information free. This is 2025. At force in every budget, or yeah, Nigel say he'll go on TV and explain the budget to Ghanaians, which Oforiatta never did for the past 8 years, Omedi president. When MPP were in power for 8 years, we never saw Oforiatta go on any media house after reading the budget to explain into detail what the budget actually means. In Kwasiafoe, they never did it. Now, to this Jandam. So this video 2025, at the first read the budget review, and Oba read the TV so bechichimu. In the conversation about say, a Bank of Ghana, MPP free power, no more bobesia, a car, 60 billion cedis daho. 60 billion. In common one at the first car say, Bank of Ghana say, a buying any Ghana for, yet why you tianumus 53 billion, and fanko tia sakano. And at the first car say, saa deɛ ne deɛ ɔmfa saa ɛhaw no ɛmmɛto ɛdeɛn ɛyɛ Ghana for so because sɛ only 53 billion ɛmfa nkotua ɛka Bank of Ghana under MPP ɔmo bɔto hɔ a na nka ɔsɔ ɔmo yɛ responsible na nka ɔsɔ ɔmo hu sɛ ɛyɛ Ghana for na bank ne ɔmo dia na ani sɛ nka ɔmo de saa ɛka no to Ghana for so si nyansa bi anim na Bank of Ghana na ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛyɛ entity anase ɛno si yɛ ɛdeɛn ɛyɛ dwumaku a ɔmo so ɛwɔ ɛdeɛn enjapade a ɛne sɛbi onyoma ɛsom ɔmo bo a ɔmo betumi de akosi awawa. In fact sɛ ɔmo office foforo yɛ ɔmo timi ɛyɛ office ɛso paa sɛ ɔmo de bi bɛ rent ɔmo de bi bɛ lease nkɔfoɔ na bɛyɛ 10 years na ɔmo de ateka ɔmo wia no ma sa take over. It is not wrong. Or see, Bank of Ghana for ɔmo hotels ɔmo nyoma ɛyɛ ɔmo properties and your ɔmo tobi. Now, most of us can anti 60 billion can be. Now, ono ato force in there. Enya dia obetam Ghana for yet to a daho 60 billion and 53 billion. Embetia a Bank of Ghana. A the MPP a kamubotu. Now, Bank of Ghana no. Omanka santinasi. Now, nka so munsho muhu. Nyoma mubetumi ye edia so a kaweano. These were the words of Ato Forsen. Or say Bank of Ghana for a jumakua eson. Omo guest house, omo hotels. Or say, I've dined on with Timu Crampono. A diner so pa. Omo to decide somebody people my rent. Now, Oma Jisasi can be a tea omo castle. And na etikesia kerenkere busa ne say. Na adentina on time Ghana sika enti. I don't see that be yanyanisa. A woman's Bank of Ghana for dia. Na MPP for betna so no. A ya e kana mo jiri go no. Na omo catch from say ebe haye. Inti o say ono ato force in there. Only problem. Bank of Ghana for sebio omo ye premanfo a and the almost starting check say eya nyoma bi a omo ya ema eka no ebeka ho no omo nte so they should look within omo onjapade omo nyoma bi a omo betumi de akosi awawa e betumi ate omo kan so bi and o ka say etikese kerenkere ka say they say Bank of Ghana for enya sika ni bia wa wo ye finance minister wudi Ghana for anim e de omo to ye adwuma no wo be hia omo so etua kakra o say one de o ye nipa. So Bank of Ghana for chere so omo betumi ankasa ahwe omo dwumadiem na omo betumi enya sika bi dia betua eka we bia 53 billion a why not obehia omo ne omo di nkomo se nyansa wo mu se wo so omo kakra de ti omo kan so a obeye saa asem we ato for sinkan we ngina TV so anka da se Bank of Ghana for nkoton edan no brofo omo mienu di ye no there was nowhere Ato Forsen suggested. Ato Forsen in his statement, he said he asked Bank of Ghana to look within. Is the headquarters the only property of Bank of Ghana? Bank of Ghana has hotels. Bank of Ghana has investment. Some investment that are not what? That are not important. He even said they have hotels and other things. He said Bank of Ghana should look within. So how come say Brofu were clear a year ago? Na ende cocaine media join his ecofa story way by say yati say Bank of Ghana beton na omo de edani nyina be mahai. They don't do that. This is a media house. Yes, MPP abai be board be 60 billion. Sa audit no at a point you be won say photo gold watch be 5 million gold watch. And that audit is still ongoing. They have even finished the audit. So how can a media house, Asama finance minister, can a year? He was not even emphatic. He was not even pressurizing Bank of Ghana. He was suggesting. Atuforsen was telling them, he was advising they should look within. And then, Yatiano Kachre say, Bank of Ghana for beton omodino, Eddie Amahai, any adi, na abaiway, and a shade. Are you stupid? How do you call yourselves a media house? Are you stupid? This is a national asset. Now, Yabusamu say, Munjina Swan say, I must say, Yakika, Yatete. What's your for? Motete saying, Yakikan won't from him, na motete. Now, my Jimmy, at least you can walk to the Bank of Ghana and question the governor. You can basically tell us what exactly the governor said. You can walk to the Bank of Ghana. There's the deputy governor. You can walk to the Bank of Ghana. There's the public relations officer. How do you put such a story out? Even if today the Bank of Ghana, this is their building, they decide to rent half to pay their debt, is it a crime? Even today, so Bank of Ghana, it decided, say, this building, the rooms are too many. There are a lot of rooms here we are not using. We want to rent this out for 10 years and take $20 million for a month. Is it wrong? Because Bank of Ghana need to pay their debt. A canoe boy, also butia. Or no atofos and say, "Nyade okotam Ghana for sika." You bet me the school. You bet me the aya kwine. You bet me the aya nyompunto be enko Bank of Ghana call castle. If the time I know mo boss akano, na atofos your position or catch them say, "Dey no mo ye nenye." And so mon kwasiafo tina ho support Bank of Ghana. Inti me, I would prefer the Bank of Ghana. And that way, already half guarantee. I will prefer. Because enya dia me know yadi taxes ever bet your Bank of Ghana a 53 billion. I'm not going to pay that, and you are not ready to pay that because I buy an argument say or per se otiasa 53 billion my Bank of Ghana. I will see the taxes but also. Now 53 billion when a boss I can do a NPP Kufuado Addison at the Bank of Ghana in a year almost to be bob a 60 billion. And they say, Argentina, a NDC, me say, me a president of the Republic of Ghana. Kochiname press conference. Good evening, fellow Ghanaians. What I want to tell you is simple. The Bank of Ghana is in debt. And they need to pay about 60 billion to offset that debt. What we've realized is that the new building, the headquarters of Bank of Ghana, is empty. In fact, they are using only 3 floors. So we will suggest to the Bank of Ghana to rent out the rest of the offices. The money that comes out from the rentals or the leasing of the offices will be used to offset some of the debt. Thank you, Ghanaians. I appreciate. God bless you. God bless Ghana. Pam 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 pam. The only thing I want to say is kwasiafo. Na ya maame ekuata. Odi na metu asaka no. Mo ya kwasiafo. Na mo nya no fo Ghana ho na mo jimi. Ewrade nyagopo. Mo Ghana fo bi mo nya no fo na mo te Ghana. Na me ekọ. Nanka Bank of Ghana building, come rent like 3 rooms, so one ho, my bomb down. Work from there. Yakanyam they are renting international companies. Sikebia ebegin rent bi ane de tuamoka. Motemoka wi ane apamo mu nyina. Eno no. Na me na kam nkotia. Ana kaneshi fo ma na nkotia. Ana makola fo ma. Ana kenyetia ma no omobeji omoto. Na masam no kwase akofie moto abeka say an NDC aban de to abeto. To me, if you ask me, the Bank of Ghana building, Bank of Ghana hotels, yemfa ni nyina nsia wawa. Yatikali wi ani agigi ni nyina de nkwase asem no. Obi betena no ediska. Yesori ani ye jandam. Na momienko enim. So the Bank of Ghana actually came out with a statement and they clarified the issue. They were emphatic in their statement. Say, BB Sansi, people should disregard the jandam from the cocaine media, multimedia. And this is what the Bank of Ghana said. Bank of Ghana refutes claims of planned sale of new headquarters. The Bank of Ghana has taken note of a publication by My Joy Online dated 1st June 2026, titled, and I quote, Bank of Ghana considering sale of new $260 million headquarters. Sources, end of quote. The Bank of Ghana categorically stated that this report is false and misleading. The bank is not considering, discussing, or planning the sale of its new headquarters. The facility, which was commissioned to support the bank's operations and enhance efficiency in the discharge of its statutory mandate, remains a critical asset of the bank. We urge the public and the media to disregard this publication. Unverified reports of this nature have the potential to undermine public confidence in Ghana's financial system and create unnecessary market uncertainty. The Bank of Ghana remains committed to transparency and will continue to engage stakeholders through its official channels. All official communication from the bank is issued via the bank's website, bog.gov.gh. Verified social media handles, press statements from the communication department, and signed statement from the secretary of the bank. The media is encouraged to seek clarification from the bank before publishing information relating to its operations. And it was signed by Communications Department, 2nd June 2026. And the Bank of Ghana for Amana be clear. Almost say baby ani hoda omontina se omondwene ho ombobo ho po say Bank of Ghana dan no omo beton. Baby a join news ekofas asem free no omo ka che Ghana for say join news for omo atrofo omo nka no kre nipa bi no mabɔ musrim say omo person mu twatro mo hwɛ join news ye Bank of Ghana say mo ma mo ni nko join news ho na nyoma bebre bi omo ya enye omo di atro omo nka no kre omo ya person mu nkum nyam efri say ensem omo ka nyina no na ni nyina ya atro a omo di gu Bank of Ghana ni mase omo kan bibi no omo say se a de wiasa ye hu na joy news multimedia no aye platform a akromfo de dada Ghana for nti monhwɛ mo yie na bibia obeti efri obia no e wo se wo satie ne yie efri so omo de mete ya keka ene de nkofo keka ene omo de echi na omo ni ngina so won nsem a omo ka Bank of Ghana for nsem ene mabɔ no tofo a bedwudwam a kyerɛw moma yenko yenim yatena